Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the hood. Let's talk about them gangs. Come on. That's in them penitentiaries for twisting their fingers. Let's talk about the hoovers, the Pyrus from looters. Let's talk about having some truces with trays and dudes. Come on. Let's talk about the racist shit and crooked politics. The government don't care about niggas, they love immigrants. Let's talk about my past. Let's talk about my pain. It's so hard to maintain wearing red flame. Let's talk about my thug. You know we had them drugs. Let's talk about that ghetto girl that betrayed my love. Let's talk about Farrakhan. Let's talk about the Bible. Let's talk about the Quran. Let's talk about Elijah. Let's talk about my daddy, my candy-coated caddy. Let's talk about my mama happy that she chose to have it. Let's talk about the kids. Let's talk about the blues. Tune into the Let's Talk Shop with that old school.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I came back on here, man. I want to touch on some more of the Hispanics and black situation. I see a lot of my people out here protesting for Mexicans, and you to each his own. You do what you do, but you still look stupid. I'm here to tell you that. But in the midst of that, you have an overwhelming amount of even Mexicans coming out, speaking out against why black people are doing such a thing. And I agree wholeheartedly. But this brother right here, he's going to tell you how, and blacks, we've known this for some time, that the Hispanic culture, man, they are more racist than white folks. That's just what it is. Now, yeah, they'll shoot the shit with you at work. You know a few of them. You might mess with one, or you got brothers out here that got them from their hood, and they slap fives with them. But deeply rooted within their culture, they have always been racist towards black people. And that's in prison, on the street, the workplace. This brother right here is going to tell us how the Hispanic get down in the workplace. Let's hear him out.
I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans, and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company. This is my company as a black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics.
Now I got to pause it right there. We got to point out that Hispanics, for them to feel comfortable coming to this man to say that, they have to see the racial divide, even between Africans and so-called African Americans, foundational black Americans. They see that as well. I had a Mexican guy that I was working with out in the oil field tell me, I don't see why, you guys, the African guys don't like you guys. So they see it. That's why they felt comfortable saying this to this man. We can't ignore that. Now let's continue listening.
And the Latino workers that are hired, they are snitching on the African American workers that are hired for me to fire the African Americans so they can bring Latinos to take their place. That's where I want to focus today. So while we have brothers who are unemployable because of whatever, they are on the street corner smoking crack cocaine or trying to sell some dope, or
now that comment right there, that shows how they view foundational black Americans. Everybody ain't smoking crack and selling dope. That's a stereotype. But he said that. So that goes to show where his mind frame is. Hence why the Mexicans felt comfortable going to him, telling him, hey, You need to fire them and bring it, because a Mexican wouldn't have said that to a foundational Black American. Not about other foundational Black Americans. You got to see it, that divide and conquer thing got to be there. And they wouldn't have never said that to a foundational Black American. So they had to see the disconnect in order to feel comfortable doing so. Let's carry on.
The ones who want to work, but these jobs are not given to them because it's gotten to a point where within the construction industry itself, some of the Latinos are in hiring positions. And we know when a Latino gets into a hiring position in any industry in America, they don't hire Black folk.
Now, this is true. This is 100% correct. 100% correct. And any industry you go to, just like my other video I stated, just go right around in your neighborhood and look at who's getting the contracts. And one thing that you will see is on the job, you will see all Mexicans. You ain't gonna see no brothers on there. You're gonna see all Mexicans. And that's cool. That's called self-preservation. I'm not mad at them for doing that. I'm not mad at them for doing that at all. Right? I'm mad at my people because my people, you can't go nowhere and see a whole crew of Black people working and getting money. I'm talking about really getting money. You're not going to see that. Because for one, Black people themselves are going to not hire as many Blacks. They're not going to do that. They're going to try to hire others first. And this is where I'm not mad at the Mexicans for doing that. Hire your people. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to look out for your people. Anybody see something wrong with that? That's because you're not looking out for your own. As I stated, why would I go out and hook a stranger up before I hook my own son or my brother? That makes no sense. But that's what we do all the time as Black people. And we can't get mad at the Mexicans for not doing that. They recognize, hey, I'm doing this for my people. That's what you call loyalty. And Black people, we don't have that. You got Black folks, man, they will not give you the hookup on nothing. They won't give you the hookup. If they got a plug, that's how we are in our culture, man. I hate to say this shit, but it's exactly how it is. You find a Black person that got a plug on something. He's not gonna put you directly in contact with that person, depending on who you are. But for the most part, he ain't gonna tell you. He gonna tell you to go through him so he could skim off the top. He got to get paid for giving you that plug. That's how we do each other, man. We do each other shitty. So other people see that. And they follow suit. They like, nah, man, we're gonna do this for our own people. Like when you got Maxine Waters and Karen Bass and whatever other Black politicians that you have out there in California, anywhere where Black people at, they're not fighting to make sure everything is on equal ground for Black folks. They're not doing that. So we can't get mad at others. We need to be mad at ourselves because we don't practice that. If we practice that, watch how things turn around. If we said, hey, all we're going to do is support Blacks, we're going to look out for each other, things will turn around within a matter of days. Look at all of the protests out there. One thing about Mexicans, they don't speak up. They won't speak up about them. They're not going to challenge white supremacy. They're not going to do none of that shit. If the white man want to pay their ass $3 to do that job, they're going to do that job. And they're not going to make no complaints. But Black people, no, we'll stand up for that shit. We ain't finna do that. We're not doing it. And rightfully so. But what the Mexicans will do, when they come for them, oh yeah, they know how to shut shit down. Look at what they're doing all over the United States, out here in Texas, in California. They rioting, they protesting, they all throughout the streets. You don't see Black. We don't do that type of shit, man. We don't do that shit. If we did that shit, if we said, hey, we're not doing nothing. We're not going to work until we see some brothers on these jobs. We see some brothers doing this construction work. We see some brothers in the oil field. It'll shut everything down. But we don't have that. We don't have that camaraderie with one another to where we are willing to do that. Because the brothers that got jobs, I'm like, man, I ain't taking off to do that shit. You turn on your TV right now as we speak, you see Mexicans and they out there fighting the police. So we can't get mad at them for doing that. I'm mad at us. But let's continue listening to what this brother's saying.
When Latinos get into hiring positions in any industry in America, they do not hire African Americans. I know this for a fact because I have a lot of friends who are Latinos and I have a lot of my African American cousins. Some of them who wanted to go into construction. It's not because the brothers don't want to work. If you did not go to school to become a doctor, you can own your own construction company.
Now, what I will say, this African right here, he's really giving up some game. He giving up some game, you know, and that's what I rock with. I rock with that. We need more that's willing to do this. But listen to what he's saying, though.
The Latino community in America is making billions of dollars every year with less education than black Americans. I'll repeat. So maybe some of you didn't hear me. The Latino demographic in America is making billions of dollars each year in America with less education than African Americans. Make that make sense.
Makes sense.
90% of all subcontracting companies in America right now are Latinos.
90%. 90%. That's more than white people. That's more than white people. They need to be tripping too. But this is why they storm the Capitol. They know what to do. And white folks know what to do. But us as black people, nah, we want to sit around and complain and say they won't hire us. They're not supposed to hire you. You're supposed to hire your own. That's like saying, y'all not helping me take care of my kids. Ain't nobody supposed to help you take care of your kids. So think about that. Think about that. And I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I'm not mad at the Hispanic community for doing that. Man, they don't leave you out because you whack. No, they leave you out because you the best. They don't want you to overshine them. So, of course, they're going to monopolize whatever resources they get and keep you out of it, as they should. Because what they're practicing is self-preservation. Something we need to practice. We need to do the same thing. When you get a brother that's working anywhere, a brother tell you he got all of the power in the world. I know a lot of people, or I got a cousin that know everybody, and he could get you a job. As soon as you talk to him, he gonna bullshit you. He gonna bullshit you, even if he do have that. It's not a priority for him to get you on. It's not a priority. He got his. But what ends up happening is, by him being the minority of the company, the Mexicans are still coming in. They going come after his job. He don't have no cushion. And he ends up getting pushed out. All because he wanted to be up on that hill by himself. We see it all the time, man. I see it all the time with my people, man. That's why I don't even like listening to brothers when it comes to, jobs and stuff like that. When I was out there really looking for jobs, man, when I came on with when I first started truck driving, I would ask brothers, hey, man, what's up, bro? How much they paying you over there? Man, brothers lie all the time. Man, a nigga will lie to your ass. Be like, hey, man, what's up? How much they pay? Oh, shit, man, I get paid $2,500 a week. $2,500 a week, is that right? Yeah, man, yeah. And when you get on, it's $800 a week, $1,600. Like, nigga, I thought you said it was. That's the type of shit we do, man. And that's because black people have very low self-esteem. African Americans, foundational black Americans have very low self-esteem. Our confidence is through the roof, but the self-esteem is at zero. That's why brothers always lying. Oh yeah, I can get you on over there. You call him and shit. He won't hit you back, and you tell people, hey man, can you get me on? Yeah, I do. You call them, they don't call you back or none of that shit. because they want to make themselves feel a certain way. But the Mexicans is doing it. You heard what he said? Hey, you need to fire them, man. I can bring in some people that do, and that's what they're doing. We see it all the time. And like they said, they're not going to hire you. They will not hire you. I encourage you to just try this. Pick up the phone and call KAG. That's one company, Keenan Advantage Group. Call Badlands down in Texas. And just speak. Watch it. It's going to be a Mexican recruiter that pick up the phone. And they're going to tell you they're not hiring. That's what they, once they hear you got bass in your voice or you got melanin in your voice, they are not going to hire you. But if you call, hey, hello, are you guys hiring for drivers? Yes, put an application in. Put an application in. I got you. They're going to hook their people up. That's why the oil field is riddled with Mexicans. Riddled. Even the women. And I'm not even talking about manly look women. They got some nice looking women out there. You be like, damn, she out here in the oil field. Damn, they everybody. So this ICE shit, I don't know who they picking up. That shit is for show. Because here in Texas, out in that oil field, that's all you see. That's all you see. I don't even see no brothers out there. Excuse me. I don't even see no brothers out there. You know what I mean? And the ones I do see, they ain't brothers. They Africans. I think I seen one brother. He worked for Halliburton. That's it, just one. Seen him on the truck. We gave the fist, and that was it. I ain't see no more. And that's West Texas, man. That's West Texas. So think about what this man is saying. Let's finish listening to him, though.
Why our young black men are on the street corner, doing whatever they are doing, end up dead or going to jail, or no future. Because white Americans have been living with African Americans even from the day when our ancestors came from Africa as enslaved people. White Americans will work with African Americans who want to work. Latinos will not work with African Americans who want to work.
Now that right there, that's 100% correct. A white man to give you a job quick. A Mexican, he hiring his own people, man. He hiring his own people. And I'm shining a light on that. Not to say that as being bad for them, because that's not bad. I'm saying that, I keep saying that because I see black people all on social media. Let's stand with the Mexicans. Let's stand. The Mexicans ain't never wanted to stand with you. They never wanted to stand with you, even though you helped them. You helped them. You the reason they where they at. Even though that, they don't want shit from you. And they even got the nerve to try to ridicule and shame us for not coming out in droves. Right? Now, the ones that do, they are just, oh man, it's sick. It's cringeworthy. You know, it makes me sick to my stomach to see black women and the men out here. I stand with the Mexicans. Nigga, for what? What you standing with them for now? I'm not trying to deport them, and I don't give a shit if they stay here. But I'm not finna stand with them and fight, because that's their fight. That's not our fight. I don't see nobody standing with us on any of our issues. So until black people as a collective have this mindset, create and adopt this mindset that we're going to look out for our own, we're going to continue to get treated like shit. Because for the people that's out there on the front line with them Mexicans, they don't give a shit about that. Them motherfuckers will still kill you, unalive you, excuse me. So let's finish listening to the brother, though.
There's a difference. There's a difference. White Americans will work with African Americans who want to work. But Latinos will not work with African Americans who want to work. Latinos only work with Latino. So if you ask me, I can tell you that from my own personal self, that Latinos are more discriminatory and racist towards African Americans than even you.
Real talk. Real
For the
talk.
time that I've been speaking, so many people have been flagging the life for the life to be taken down. Have I said anything bad about Latinos? I'm just speaking the obvious truth. Latinos don't like to work with black people. Latinos don't like to hire black people. I'm just saying the obvious truth. I'm just saying the obvious truth. Why are they reporting the life? As a matter of fact, if you're a Latino and you don't like what I'm saying, scroll on.
Scroll on. You know what? I'm gonna conclude that part. But for my man to bring that out, that was some good game. But we know this though. We see them. We see how they get up under the boss man at work. They want to be buddy buddy, and all of a sudden you see brothers come up missing. And you see more Mexicans at the workplace. Now, for us, that's messed up. That we like, man, the motherfuckers are snitching, but you know they don't have a code far as snitching on black people. They don't have no code. They're not looked at as snitching, right? With black people, we hold we even hold that code on kids, which I think is stupid. But for us, it's messed up. But for them, man, that's they being loyal to their people. They being loyal to the soil, right? But you see them out there with the flags, and you know, I'm like, man, if you're gonna fly your Mexican flag, go back to Mexico. Go back to Mexico. You fighting to stay here, but you got the Mexican flag. Go back to Mexico. All of y'all could go back to Mexico, and if y'all are so resourceful, go back to Mexico and build it up and make it like America. Make it like the United States. All of them contracting jobs y'all got here on American soil, take y'all people out there and build out there and make it right. Instead of coming over here, flying your Mexican flag in the home that you want to stay in. That makes no sense to me. You know, it makes no sense. One of my partners, he posted something. He said, if I come in your house, if I break in your house and I vacuum your floor, do that give me a right to stay there? No, it don't. No, it don't. So I just encourage my people, take care of your own. We need to take care of our own. Stop worrying about other people because no other people has ever worried about us. No other people has helped us. Now, you have individuals within different races that will come out and give us a hand. But as a collective, no group of people has done that for black people. None. None. Nobody has said, hey, the Mexicans damn sure ain't said, hey, you know what? Let's help the black people get reparations. In fact, they want to fight against that. They want to fight against it. They don't want us to have the shit. They don't want us to have it. Now think about that for a minute. You got to think about that. Because in my heart of hearts, I wouldn't look at no group and say they don't deserve reparations. I wouldn't say that about the Jewish people, the Japanese, whoever got the Indian. I won't say they don't deserve it. What kind of person would you be to fix your mouth to say that? They don't deserve it. So, okay. So did they deserve? So if you don't believe they deserve that, that means you justify what happened to them. You don't think what happened to them was wrong. And that's the mindset of these people, right? But here's the thing. They copycat our culture. I mean, they take our culture and make it as if it's their own. If you look at the Mexican back in the day, the same people that, you know, that don't like us, if you look at them back in the day, man, they wore the baggiest clothes. They wore super baggy clothes. Their pants and shirts was like 5 times bigger. They didn't have fades and shit. Now you see them, they look just like we look. They getting fades and shit. They dress just like us. They wear the fitted hats, the white tees. That's our shit. They copycat though. See? You don't hate down, you hate up. You see what I'm saying? So comment, Let me know, man. Am I tripping on this one? You seen what my man said. And y'all know what y'all do. Y'all know what y'all do, man. Y'all Mexicans know what y'all do. You know, I could speak on a lot of other things that Mexicans do because I'm from Southern California. I know how they get down. I know how they get down. And they know how they get down too. But here's the thing. If I'm wrong, let me know. And some of y'all out there, y'all could tell a story or two about you having an issue with the Hispanic community. See, me, I never really rocked with them like that because I'm from Long Beach. And Long Beach and Compton area, yeah, we got them twos and fews that we went to school with, but that's it. Once we reached a certain age, we stuck to our own people. And rightfully so, everybody do that. Once you get a certain age, you start to stay with your own people because you see it from them first. And that's what makes us say, oh, okay, that's what it is then. So I never really, I don't really have no SA partners that I rock with like that. Now I know some, yeah, but I would never fix my mouth to say, hey, we need to do this for the Mexicans. I would never say no shit like that. That shit is like treason to me. It's treason when I know that these folks ain't gonna do nothing for us. But comment, man. Been in here long enough. Comment and let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think that it's right for them to do that? Is it right for them to take care of their own the way they do and exclude us from everything? Because if they get the resources and they got 100 jobs that they fill, they're going to put 100 Mexicans in there. Now tell me, are they wrong for doing that? I don't think so personally. I don't. I'm mad at us for not doing that and taking advantage of that opportunity when we had it. Comment. Let me know what's happening, and I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace out.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the hood. Let's talk about them gangs. Come on. That's in them penitentiaries for twisting their fingers. Let's talk about the Hoovers, the Pyrus.